thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for choosing to become your greatest possible self. I love you. Thanks for being here. And we're going to be diving into this conversation of letting go and allowing the magic to flow through you. So maybe you are already in this world, in this realm of magic and wonder and possibilities, and maybe not. Maybe you're striving to get there. You're figuring out how to take one step at a time, and you're on your journey. Wherever you're at, it's perfect. And thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to invest your time into becoming your greatest possible self, into that journey, into that lifelong commitment. I have personally seen myself reap the rewards and experience so much growth simply from saying, this is my brand. So when I had the spark of inspiration to name the podcast and show Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self, I didn't know what that would entail. And seeing all the growth that's happened and come from it, I'm just so grateful for how I've evolved and how the brand has evolved. And it was just a really big example of letting go. So thank you for being here and trusting me with your time and your energy to go deep and be on this journey of becoming your greatest possible self. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next up is the iTunes review of the week. This week it's by CJ Hokama, Mr. Kerry Hokama. Feed the burn. Chris's energy and enthusiasm and zeal for his work is truly unmatched. He brings the absolute best in his guests, us, the listeners, as well as himself when it matters most in life. The present moment. Amen. This podcast is not just hoorahs and chest pounding moments either. Chris and his guests deliver breakthrough tools and applicable life exercises in order for his audience to make being the greatest version of themselves possible. Thank you so much, CJ Hokama. And if you want to give us a review, go to beergps.com/iTunes or search Greatest Possible Self on the Apple Podcast Store. Subscribe while you're there. Let us know what you love about the show, what you want to see more of, how we can improve it for you. We love receiving that feedback, so thank you in advance for doing that. And keep on the journey with us. Keep on the journey of yourself. Stay plugged into your sources of empowerment, whatever that is for you. Whether it's listening to podcasts, you have your own coach, you hire a coach, a business coach, a podcasting coach, life coach, health and wellness coach, whatever, there's a ton of amazing experts here today. We always are bringing on great people who I highly recommend continuing your journey with beyond just these interviews. So definitely take those next steps and just stay plugged in, okay? This conversation, letting go and allowing the magic to flow through you. We're going to be diving in. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before that, though, today's theme is holiday magic, okay? And we're going to be diving into an epic conversation of holiday magic in just a sec here. And before that, though, I just want to give myself a huge shout out, something I'm really proud of, actually. Today's December 11th, and tomorrow, December 12th, is a year since I have drank or done anything that was, I would say, recreational, like drinking and any kind of drug use, anything like that, any recreational drinking. And so I've been clean and sober for a year, and I'm just like super proud of myself for demonstrating the discipline to do that. So that really segues into this conversation today of holiday magic, because some people look at the holidays and they think, oh my gosh, I'm so not looking forward to it. Holidays equals stress. Holidays equals family who they don't get along with. Holidays equals spending a lot of money. Holidays equals a lot of just doing a bunch of things and go and not having enough time to just relax and enjoy life. And also holidays can mean pain and suffering and remembering certain things that happen. So a lot of people may have bad memories with the holidays. Maybe the first time someone didn't have their parents around for the holidays. Maybe the first time you got divorced. There's so many different examples of what a holiday can mean for people. And I think it's important that we are conscious of what is the meaning that we are giving this super freaking packed, supercharged energy time, this time frame, the holidays. If we're not responsible for that, then chances are we're just letting the holidays happen to us rather than for us, right? Life happening to us rather than for us. And I find that what an amazing time it is to really shift who we're being and how we show up, right? A lot of people talk down on New Year's as being this time when people set a bunch of New Year's resolutions and they don't follow through with it. And I totally get where they're coming from. And like, I give people a freaking pat on the back for saying, you know what, I've been so frustrated, so overwhelmed, so lost, so suffering in my life. I am committed to making things different. And chances are, you're not going to achieve everything that you set out to. I hope, if you achieve everything you set out to do in a year, like, you didn't set your goals high enough, right? But there's so much shame and judgment from people when they see someone who sets a goal and doesn't follow through on it. And I think what a shitty, pardon my French, culture that people are shamed because they actually set a goal to do something better for themselves. The problem is they don't have the support. The problem is they don't have the accountability. The problem is they probably set their goals too high. The problem is they self-sabotage. The problem is they didn't want it bad enough. Like, the problem is there's a lot of different problems, but really I see it as opportunities for coaches and life coaches. And you might say there's a billion life coaches or so many, like you can throw a rock in San Diego and hit a life coach on the corner, whatever the case might be, whatever your belief is. I think that there's always more people who need coaching, right? There's always someone out there who's a couple steps behind you who could use your support or guidance. And maybe it's not in the paid capacity of a coach, or a consultant or a therapist or whatever it is. But I think just recognizing that you can always help someone out there is really powerful. So holiday magic, I really wanted to go back to that theme for today, because you can use this time where there is a lot of possibility, there is a lot of wonder, there is a lot of stop being so caught up in the race of life, on the hamster wheel of life, and just get present. Okay, and by the time this comes out, it'll probably be around New Year's or after New Year's. So I think there's also a lot of reflection that you can do, whether you're going into the holidays, what are you setting your intentions for, or reflecting on the holidays at this point. What are you going to look back and see in your holidays, especially Thanksgiving and November and December? What do you see in those holiday days? Are you really appreciating people? Are you really present in the moment? Or like me, sometimes I can get caught up when I'm with family, just treating it like, oh, I'm just with my family again. Like, I'm going to keep working or keep goofing off or whatever it might be, not really being present with them. Like, I totally am responsible for when I do that. And I get it. But holiday magic, what a great time it is to redefine what your life looks like, what your life means, to do a reflection on the year that has happened. What were the great moments personally? What were the great moments in business? What were the bad moments? What didn't you like that happened personally? What didn't you like that happened in your business? Looking into 2020, have you forecasted? Have you set your goals? Have you said, here's the things I'm most looking forward to personally in 2020, most looking forward to in my business professionally in 2020, or the things I think are going to be my biggest challenges in 2020 personally, or biggest challenges in 2020 professionally or in your business? So are you really leveraging this time, this magical time, this reason? I've found whenever I can add on reasons for why something is the way it is, or why I must do something, or why I get to do something, or why I'm grateful for something, then I'm going to leverage that opportunity. A lot of people are just missing the opportunity and not leveraging the extra reasons and the extra momentum. There's so much momentum, energetic, conscious, collective momentum around being generous, being grateful, slowing down, being present, and setting a powerful New Year's direction. How are you using it? Check in with yourself. Ask yourself, what have I done actively to reflect on last year, 2019, and also to prepare for 2020? And I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on to create 2020 as your best year ever. And I just really want you to be authentic and ask yourself, what are you actually doing? With our participants at our Flow and Fire retreat in November, we did a list of 101 things you want to be, do, and have in 2020. And also the biggest goals that they wanted to achieve, and then breaking that down into bite-sized steps. So it's simple, easy, and doable and manageable, and you can actually take action on it versus be overwhelmed by the big goal and change and evolution in your life. And so those were powerful processes. We did a reflection in the Greatest Possible Self Tribe Facebook group of what were the great moments in 2019, bad moments in 2019, looking forward to in 2020, challenges anticipated in 2020. We went through a training for that. We went through a training for Statement of Purpose, both at Bali at the Flow and Fire Retreat, as well as in the Facebook group, Greatest Possible Self Tribe. If you're not in it, go join it, facebook.com/GPS Tribe. It's a great group. We're posting a lot of really great stuff. We're also playing this awesome sales game. It's going to be a blast for Q1, and we're going to repeat it every quarter. So if you can't do it this quarter, it's all good. Maybe next time. Magic in the holidays. I think that's the biggest thing I wanted to communicate is the energy that's available for you to direct to your purpose, to your highest and greatest possible self, to your highest value, right? The highest and best good for you listening right now. What is your highest and best good? Are you using the energy, the conscious collective energy, to direct towards your success? If not, you should definitely be asking for help or exploring, investigating, doing more of the 2020 exercises to design and implement a great 2020, to ask, hey, how do I actually be present with my loved ones during the holidays? Ask that stuff. Start designing your next year to be different than this year. Even if the holidays is done, you could still design and get excited for and anticipate a great upcoming holiday season in 2020. You might feel like it's far away, but you can really start designing that. And you can also just design time in general and months and days and weeks and moments and minutes and hours of your life to be fulfilling on what's most important to you. So you don't necessarily need to wait till holiday season 2020. You could start in January or February or March now, not next month, not 3 months from now, but start now. What does being more present with your family look like? What does being more grateful look like? Is it sending 5 messages a week, just telling people you love them? What does that really look like for you? Connection, being present, etc. Okay? So that's the holiday magic that I wanted to cover for me, particularly today. And we're also going to be diving into letting go and allowing the magic to flow through you. Okay? So this is such a powerful conversation for me, and I really love this 12-hour live stream, the marathon, the podcast, because I leverage it in a really empowered way. I leverage it knowing that people are tuning into these episodes. I leverage it knowing that my voice is getting out there to the world. So with your content that you create, whether you're writing, blog posting, posting on social media, posting pictures, or posting videos, live videos, really be grateful because your voice is getting out there into the world. Your presence, your commitment, your energy, what you stand for is being broadcasted out into the world. And you never know who's going to experience it, but you know that someone is going to hear it. And for us, my intention has always been, if I make one person's life better, or make a difference, or empower them, or inspire them, or encourage them, or motivate them, then this was a success. Okay? So just set that intention. Start with one. If you feel like you're not making the traction that you want with your content and your message, start with one. That's something I would definitely recommend. And I love this marathon because I get to create my life with this marathon. And let me tell you a specific example of how I used it, and I encourage you to do something similar. 3 years ago, we started the marathon approximately, and on the marathon, I would talk about the woman of my dreams. I designed her. I wrote about her. I described her. She was European. This is my description. I literally wrote this. She was European. She had beautiful eyes, a beautiful smile, a radiant smile. Just made me feel amazing. I pictured us in Greece at a beautiful table on the cliffs of Greece overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, just enjoying dinner by candlelight, feeling just so high vibes, so alive, so free, so empowered. And I said, of course, she has perfect boobs, perfect butt, perfect curves, just amazing, amazing woman. And of course, she popped into my existence because I was so clear on what I wanted and what I was creating. And I sent her love while I was on the marathon and said, wherever she's at, before I ever knew Petya, before I ever knew who I was attracting, I was just unattached, sending beautiful, loving energy, saying, I love you so much, sending massive good vibes and encouragement. And whatever you're going through right now, just know that you're not alone. Whatever you're going through, you're loved, you are supported, you are just being your greatest possible self, and just know that I'm here for you, right? I didn't know who she was, but I was sending that energy out. I was sending that intention out. And there was people who were commenting, who were engaging, who were saying, "Go, Chris, you're so freaking awesome." So of course it helps to have people there who are witness to you creating what you want to create. But I use this platform to share that energy and that commitment and that stand for what I was creating and attracting. And I think all too often people hide their goals and they don't share that. So you have a massive freaking commitment from me to be sharing my goals in 2020 even more. Because I see Stephen James with Project Life Mastery posting up his year goals as well as doing quarterly reviews. And I'm like, dude, you got balls. You are courageous. You are, you're going for it, and you're just posting up what's going on. And I think the authenticity and the transparency to share what is going on is massive. I think that's huge for me personally. That level of transparency, that level of here's who I am, take it or leave it. If you like it, great. Come work with me. Come join us. If you don't like it, great. Keep doing your thing. No biggie. Massive love for you on your journey. I also think though that I am my own worst enemy when it comes to, I'm also my own best friend. I'm both, right? Double-edged sword. I got the beautiful lightness and power and greatest possible self. And I also have the darkness that can just bring me the freak down and crush my soul and isolate me from the world when I'm feeling like a loser, when I'm feeling like a failure, when I feel like I'm not measuring up, like I'm not enough, like I'm not smart enough, I'm not making enough progress, I'm not sexy enough, good looking enough, I'm not healthy enough, I'm not making enough money, I'm not where I want to be in my life, I don't have the house that I want, I'm not showing up as the man that I know the woman of my dreams, Petya, deserves. I just beat myself up. And so that steals magic. That takes away magic. For me personally, posting publicly what I'm doing and creating creates more magic, creates more aliveness for me, creates more thrill. It literally thrills me to life more. Before I met Petya, I did a video on Facebook 2 years ago almost that was me going out to Santa Monica Beach and saying, I'm going to explore and adventure Santa Monica Beach and walk around and ask random beautiful strangers to kiss me, and just ask random women, strangers, to kiss me for a kiss. And it was so thrilling. It was so uncomfortable. My heart's racing. I have to keep stepping into courage. I have to keep going for it. I think I got declined, rejected 7 times. Thank you. No for now, right? 7 times. And then I think on the 8th, I got a kiss. Okay. So for me, videotaping that and recording that was huge. It was freaking massive for me to experience that and to share that with the world and to put myself in that position, that kind of a spotlight, and perform and not have anywhere to go other than I'm getting this thing done. And so those kinds of heroic opportunities where I can put myself in the spotlight and go do something that's meaningful and important to me, I think is really, really important. So I'm saying all that because there's a magic of, for me, using this platform and sharing what I'm creating and really just having fun and playing and not being attached. And today we're talking about letting go. And I let go when I was creating Petya and this dream woman, speaking her into existence. And I've found that, especially in terms of income, right? Generating income for my business and just wanting to be financially successful, all the way back to 7 years ago when I started network marketing. My desire to create income, to create wealth, to create money in my life, it came from such a deep, wounded place, such a deeply insecure, hurt, powerless, frustrated, lost, suffering, desperate place. And for many years, it came from that place, continued to come from that place. A lot of my identity I attached to success, to money, to achievement, because deep down inside I felt insecure, like I wasn't enough. And also a massive fear of rejection and something proving that I'm not enough was constantly looming there in my conversation, in my mind. And it was like growing financially, financial success has been one of the biggest challenges that I felt like I've poured my whole life into creating that success. And today, like I'm doing better than I ever have before, more consistently, really doing work that I love, helping people to get their message out on the marathon and helping people launch their podcasts and doing freaking retreats in Bali and creating games that people can truly, truly grow their sales. And it's like really making a difference, creating more fun, more aliveness, more value, making a difference in other people's bottom lines, which I think is one of the best measures of how effective am I being personally, my coaching, my structures. It doesn't even have to be me coaching, but it can be my invitation to a new world, to a new game, to a new way to see things, to a new way to play the game of life or the game of sales, or the game of growth, personal development, greatest possible self. It doesn't have to be me teaching someone, but I want to be a part of that game. I want to be a part of that world that we get to create together, that we get to step into to create more joy, more fulfillment, more growth, more love, more people being served, more problems solved, and everyone being their best self. Like I'm committed. I'm like literally, there's no way you can stop me from that. I am so freaking hungry to do that, to be that. There's nothing that can stop me in this world from being that. Okay? That being said, that's what my soul is hungry for. That's what my personality is hungry for. Chris Burns wants that. And I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and over the last, I would say, year, 2 years or so, I've really been focusing on my connection with nature. I've been focusing on my connection with God. And whatever you believe in, God, source, spirit, creator, this may or may not be a aligned conversation with you. If that's the case, it's okay. I bless you. Be on your way. Be your greatest possible self. And if you're willing to stick through this conversation and hear this out, I'm positive there will be some opening, some possibility, some wonder that really comes into your life because of this conversation. So I highly encourage you to stick with it, because at the end of this, I think that there will be more freedom and more peace for you. I know that's what it's creating for me. So over the last 2 years, I've really started praying more. And I know people close to me who had bad experiences with church and religion growing up. And for me, I was a rebel when I was in my teens. I said, screw God, screw the church, screw spirituality. I'm an atheist, just to prove that I'm right, just to prove that I don't want to follow your rules, mom and dad. I don't want to follow your rules, society. I'm going to do my own thing because this is some BS. I just want to play video games all day, and you guys got me going to school and going and working and getting a job and being freaking miserable. There's something broken here. So the best thing I can do is start to attack this thing that isn't logical and isn't in reality, and you have no proof. Yeah, there's the Bible and stuff, but F you, right? And so I started just rebelling and saying, I don't want anything to do with spirituality and God, and just connecting to nature. I just wanted to go be selfish and get my instant gratification, go drinking, go partying, go to raves. And that lifestyle really took its toll on me, had some pretty big impacts on me. Thankfully, nothing that got me into like trouble that would have been, it would have been I couldn't heal from it. I couldn't come back from it. Thankfully, there were some big wake up calls, but nothing that truly like destroyed my soul and my spirit and caused me to be like finished for the rest of my life, dead in prison, whatever it might be, a junkie addict for the rest of my life. Thank God that I did not go that deep, or I did go deep, and I did go really deep, and something or someone or some presence saved me from going any deeper and saved me from continuing that life. So I was a super rebel. I said, screw God. And then for many years, I'm like, man, I think I have it together, but I don't really have it together. I think I'm supposed to have all the answers, but I definitely don't have all the answers. I'm not getting the results that I want. I don't have the success or money or women or whatever else that I wanted. I was really like feeling broken, feeling like I don't know who I am in life. I don't know why I'm here. And so that continued for a couple years. And then 2 years-ish ago, I really started making the commitment to seek God, to seek guidance, to seek something more powerful than me. Because what I had deduced, what I had come to realize for me personally was like, dude, Chris, whatever you're doing, sure, you're making progress. Sure, you got people cheering you on, saying you're doing amazing things, 12-hour marathons, awesome. And like you feel miserable. You feel so unhappy. You feel so unfulfilled at your current level of success, at your current level of being and living life. Where's the play? Where's the fun? Where's the connection to nature? Where's the loved ones that you get to have around you? Where's the freedom? Where's the peace? Bro, you are like suffering. And on the outside, it looked like everything was going really well. Hosting live events, creating coaching clients, and having the marathon. But I just felt out of integrity for me to be my greatest possible self. Something is missing here. I can't even put my words on it. I don't have clarity around it. I feel lost. I feel stuck. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like something is missing. And so I said, Chris, stop trying to figure it out logically. Stop trying to do what you've been doing, which is investing tens of thousands of dollars into personal development, hoping that someone outside of you can save you, can fix you, can do it for you, can replace the responsibility that you need to have to be able to get to your fulfillment and your success. And be responsible. Be responsible, and also recognize that there's something bigger at work. Because if you just had to get a little bit more information, if you just had to shift a couple more beliefs, if you just had to listen to those affirmations just a little bit more, you have worked your ass off. You have grinded, 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 you have done everything that you freaking can in your power personally, try to push your way there. It's not working. And so I finally started sensing that about 2 years ago. And so I said, okay, like I'm gonna start praying. Like, God, show me. Show me what I'm missing. Show me the way. Show me who to connect with. Show me where I need to be going. Show me how foolish I am. So show me how silly I am. Show me that I have no idea what I'm talking about. Show me that I'm not in control. Show me that you've got this. Show me that you have the answers. Show me that you are there. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I just kept saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Practicing gratitude before it ever even came. Right? I think that was a philosophy from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, that you really get to practice that faith and that knowingness that it's on its way. The riches, the result, the life, whatever you want, it's on its way. And you really get to practice faith as a muscle before it ever comes. And so I got that principle pretty well. And thankfully read books like The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy and Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, which taught me, hey, this is a long-term game. There's no instant gratification in this. Not usually. There might be some instant gratification of feeling better, but like the transformation, the ability to look at your life and be like, oh my gosh, I love my life. I'm so amazed. Like that comes after, in my opinion, freaking years of reversing trajectory of I'm the shit. I got everything under control. I'm the badass. And then behind closed doors, you're like, oh shit, what is going on with my life? What is wrong with my life? I'm screwing everything up. Nothing is going the way that I had planned. Why am I broken? What's wrong with me? So to course correct from that kind of mindset, that kind of energy, that kind of personality, for me, I've been saying, you got this. You got this, God, source, universe, creator. You got this. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'll show up and I'll do my best. I will be in control of the things that I can be in control of. My mood, my maybe not even mood, but shifting my thoughts, being responsible for the thoughts that I think, my habits, my behaviors, how I respond to what life gives me. That's like the one thing that I have in control of consistently. And so I just really started saying, how can I be empowered and responsible for that, for those thoughts and energy and perspective and responses that I have? How can I be in control of that? And how can I also delegate and let go and trust that God is in control of everything else? God is in control of my relationship with Petya, how it ultimately turns out. God is in control of the 12-hour marathon, how it ultimately turns out. He's in control of my business partnership. He's in control of my family's health and well-being. He's in control of how life unfolds for me and ultimately the environment that I'm in, how it comes to me. I'm in control of how I respond to it. And, I could say, hey, I'm in Vegas right now. I'm in control. I'm going to go to Texas. I'm going to go to Austin, Texas. Or I'm in control. I'm going to go to Alaska. I'm in control. I'm going to go to San Diego. I'm in control of that. I can say that. And in my opinion, God is in control of what happens when we take those steps. Okay. So letting go of trying to control everything. And just recently, especially, it's been big breakthroughs for me because I had a hypnosis session with Amy Turner a while back. I think it was in August, and it was awesome rapid transformational therapy, rapid transformational technique, RTT. And it was super powerful. And my focus with her was worthiness, and especially worthiness to receive and attract and create more money, more riches, more abundance, more wealth. That was our focus for the hypnosis session. It was super, super powerful. Just shout out to Amy. If you have a chance to work with her or have a conversation with Amy Turner, definitely do it. She is a powerhouse. That being said, I had another hypnosis expert, Gia Shea, on our marathon a little while back. And so me and Gia talked, and I said, hey, I'd love to do a hypnosis session with you. So he said, great. And this last week, she asked me, what do you want to focus on in our upcoming hypnosis session? And I said, the first thing I would just instantly say is I want more money, right? Like, that's what I want. And I said, but what I think would be even better is like to really have a breakthrough in trusting God, in surrendering to God, into letting go, into being grateful that God is in control of everything, and to stop getting in my own way. And just stop trying to control everything and just allow God to flow through. To allow myself to be the vessel, to allow myself to be a conduit. Because I think the reason why, and I'll dive into this in a bit, I believe that any personality is limited. Even Joe Dispenza talks about the personality, how important it is to shift it if you want to create different results, to become limitless, to become, have infinite potential. You have to create a whole new personality. You have to let go of your old personality that has existed up until now. The normal thoughts you say, the normal things you do, the people that you're around, the environments that you're in. You have to literally disown and let go of that personality and step into a new one. And you have to align and energize and activate that whole new personality so that you can step into it. Okay. So I recognize Chris Burns' personality. Like, I love you, bro. And there's so much weakness in Chris Burns' personality. There's so much weakness to want people to like me. There's so much weakness in trying to make everyone happy. There's so much weakness in trying to look like I have everything under control and I'm smart enough and I have the answer. Like, my whole life has been set up and designed so that I look like I have the answers, right? I interview people all day long. I did tons of personal development. I felt like, I have all the answers to personal development. Someone asked me a question, you're an average of the what? The 5 people you're around the most. Yes, I'm a champion. And so I designed my life to have all the right answers in personal development, because like I'm a great person at memorizing things, and feeding back what is taught to me. I'm so amazing. Even in these interviews, like one of my greatest gifts is when someone says something and I summarize it or say it in a different way, in a more beautiful, eloquent, or just a different way in general. People are like, wow, yeah, exactly what I said that, and how you said it was perfect. So beautiful, And I love that gift. And it's also a coping mechanism to cover up the fact deep down inside that I feel like I don't know enough, I'm not successful enough, I'm not there yet, I'm not enough, I'm not smart enough. And that's all out of my personality, right? That's Chris Burns. So as long as I continue to operate as Chris Burns, and of course, there's tons of different ways that you can shift your personality. You can visualize. You can visualize yourself 1 year and all the success that you're achieving. That literally shifts your personality, changes your brain programming. You can affirm things and tell yourself a new story. That will shift your personality, shift your narrative, and shift how you show up in the world. You can visualize your day going successfully. Okay, you can read books, see and relate to yourself. That ultimately is what I have been on the journey of doing with neurolinguistic programming and just like reprogramming my mind, reprogramming my subconscious mind. But at the end of the day, it's always a personality. The personality, Christopher Colin Burns. And that's limited. It's limited in what it can produce. It's limited in how much it can achieve because it's a personality. It is a archetype. It is a construction of habits, patterns, thoughts, beliefs, etc. So it's limited in saying that, Chris Burns is the type of guy who earns, let's say, $5,000 a month, right? That's who Chris Burns' personality has been constructed to be, for example. So you probably have heard of the wealth ceiling, the wealth thermostat. If someone somehow earns, let's say, $20,000 a month, and they get to that level, and their business is like thriving, kicking butt, taking names, and their wealth thermostat says, "I'm the type of person who earns $5,000 a month." Like, there's no way I could earn $20,000 a month. What will happen is they will literally self-sabotage. They will mess up with clients. They will self-sabotage with addictions. They will run. They will numb. They will avoid. They will get themselves into trouble. They will, just not show up as the leader or, person that they can be because that wealth thermostat is off. So I say all this because in this conversation of letting go to allow the magic to happen, right? I know that's like, we want to allow the magic to flow through you. In my opinion, you have to first be willing to let go of who you've been up to this point, whatever that personality is that you have adopted and owned and said, this is who I am. You are not a person. You are not a thing. You are not an identity. I am not really Chris Burns, right? I am everything. I am you. I am this computer. I am this drink. I am my phone. I am that. I am. You may have heard that before. I am that. I am. You may have heard it said, I am that I am. So it's like just saying I am conscious and I am conscious. Like, hey, I am a presence. No, I am that. I am. I am that. 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 I am this. 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 I am all these things. I am you. I am that. You. I am this. You. Listening right now. I am that. I am. You and I, we are not separate. We are not different. There is just this illusion. There's just this societal program that says we are different. And so I'm really stepping into this phase of my life that like embodies, how do I embody that you and I are the same? Me and this table are the same. And so even, for example, Chris Burns, my subconscious mind, I am that, my subconscious mind, and I am also this desk that I'm at, right? And so guess what is on this desk? A lot of stuff, a lot of crap. It's really unorganized, and that is oftentimes what is going on in my life. There's a lot of chaos in my life. There's a lot of chaos in my environment because that's what's going on in my head. There's a lot of chaos in my head. There's a lot of questions and frustrations and lots of things going on and multitasking and like not really being present, being caught up in the personality. So I've been letting go because I don't want to be limited by personality Chris Burns anymore. Like, I'm so freaking done with that. And so I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's like, dude, I don't even know how all these results are happening. Like, my finances, my revenue is growing, and it's at like a better point than it's ever been at, or just with more ease it's showing up, and I don't even know how it got there, and like I don't know how it's all happening, but I'm working less than I ever have, and I'm experiencing more results than I ever have. So I think there's also an equation in our minds that says one effort, one energy, one unit of work equals 1 unit of revenue, of pay. And so I'm saying, F that. Like, I'm not subscribing to that model anymore. I'm buying into, I don't even need to work. I can go play. I can go be with nature, and that equals 1 unit of pay, of revenue, of new clients. I can go ice skating, and that equals 1 unit of revenue. I can go on a walk around my house, and that equals 1 new unit of revenue. Okay? So I'm here to remind you that we are not limited to this personality. We're not limited to work in equals work out, or results out. God is in control, right? God says, hey, if you put in 1 unit of work, I'm going to give you 10 units of revenue. Okay. Oh, Chris, today, like, I'm in control, and you've been celebrating that. You've been totally unattached. You've been in the flow. You've been doing like what I asked you, what I intended of you, what was in the highest and best good of the universe. So, you're going out to Bali, and I'm going to give you 10 new guests on the marathon. I'm going to give you 10 new clients who want to launch their podcast. Like, that's what's going to happen. And there's no reason why for it. I don't have to have a reason why. God doesn't have a reason why. He's doing his own thing. He, it, she, whatever. I'm very curious about the politically correctness of what is the gender of God, but that being aside, magic. Allowing the magic to flow through you is getting yourself out of your own way. Allowing the magic, like literally magic, infinite possibilities and wonder, and like anything is possible, as Kate Schiffy Gray says, amazing woman who's been on the marathon, just absolute powerhouse. Anything is possible. To live that, you have to let go of trying to be in control. You have to let go of all the self-sabotaging beliefs and patterns and things, and like say thank you to God. Thank you to God's grace that I am like infinitely worthy. I am a divine child of God. There is nothing that can take that away. There's nothing that says I don't deserve. There's nothing that says I am not enough to bring in $1,000, right? To bring in $10,000. There is no evidence in this universe that says, that overrides what God says, and that says Chris Burns, because he did X, Y, and Z, because he is born in a middle-class family, because he is, doing this 12-hour marathon, and the way he does it, and the way he follows up with people, and the way he interacts with his woman of his dreams, and the way he interacts with the business partner of his dreams, Wayne Myers. Shout out to Wayne Myers. The way that all this happens, that means that he earns X. That means he deserves X. That means he is only allowed to get X. There's nothing in this universe that says that. So let's just pause for a second and practice a little bit of gratitude. If you've been sticking with me up to this point, I freaking acknowledge you. I know I'm on fire and going a million miles an hour, just unleashing on you. And I'm super inspired, super just connected with this message, because it's one of my biggest next levels of truth to own, to embody, and to live, and to not need to have it all figured out, to create more results in my life, to create more happiness, to create more peace, more relief, more freedom. So I just want to pause and say a massive thank you for you listening in, for you being interested in this conversation. A massive thank you for being a reflection of me on the journey. A massive thank you for allowing me to be a conduit for God's message, God's wisdom, God's grace, God's forgiveness, God's infinite love to come through me to remind you. So thank you for being here, and also thank God. Thank me, yes, Chris, for being the vessel. And what's more important, that's not really that important. What's really more important is thanking yourself for attracting and creating it, and also thanking God for recognizing the effort and the energy and the time that you've invested to be who you are today, to be ready, to be willing, to be open, to be able, to be conscious, to be forgiven, to be resourceful, to be present, to be engaged, to be activated, to be here and now. So thank God. Thank you, God, for allowing both of us, all of us, the greatest possible self community, the greatest possible self tribe, the greatest possible self sales game that is being developed right now, and all the people who are benefiting from it and growing their sales. Thank you, God, for allowing us to be used by these ideas, to be used to raise the consciousness of humanity, to heal, to bring light, to bring love, to bring peace, to bring grace as human beings to other human beings, to be the example, to be the role model of your love, to be the human role model of your infinite love, God, source, universe, creator. Don't get caught up in the name. I know someone who gets caught up on the name. I know a lot of people get caught up on the name, the word God, okay? Whatever it is called, whatever you acknowledge it. For me, I was raised in a very Christian environment, so that resonates with me. For me, church so far has not, I have not found a church that I'm like, heck yes, I resonate with this. I feel it's the right time. I feel it's my home. I feel like it's where I belong. I feel like this community gets me and I get this community. And maybe that's just my own stuff, Who knows how I might be blocking myself because I'm not worthy to be attending church, and what excuses that I'm making about not following, not understanding, not deserving, not being enough. So God, thank you for your grace. Thank you for your forgiveness. And I don't know much about like Jesus dying on the cross and being our savior and forgiving us for our sins or anything like that. I don't know about that stuff. I'm not clear. I'm not yet like bought into that. I'm still in exploration. I'm still discovering that personally. But whatever is the truth for me to discover, whatever is the truth for me to receive, to just embody and live, I don't need to know. I don't need to know how to verbalize it. I don't need to have all the facts put together. Like, God, you got this. You are in control. I'm not in control. I don't need to have the answers. I don't need to have the whole plan laid out. I don't need to have every step figured out. Like, uncertainty is a part of life. Not knowing is a part of life. I know that I don't know. And I know that I'm just a beginner on this journey. I will always be a beginner. I will always be just brand new freaking baby with this stuff, with spirituality, with connecting with God, with business, with entrepreneurship, with creating and growing wealth. Like, I'll always be a student, always be a beginner's mind, so that I'm open to be poured into. So whoever's still listening and with me, like, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this energy with me. Thank you for sharing this moment. Thank you for sharing this intention and this presence, and allowing God to be in both of our lives, allowing the universe to be in both of our lives, allowing Creator, Master Creator, to be in both of our lives, present for us, helping us to discover, helping us, guiding us, leading us like we're sheep, Like, Master Creator is the shepherd leading his sheep. We're the sheep. We're the children of God. We're being taught how to be a vessel, how to be a channel, how to be a great steward of our gifts, a conduit, a clear, empowered, alive conduit. So thank you. Thank you for being here with me. And God, thank you for your forgiveness. Thank you for showing me, guiding me back to the path of righteousness, of love, of forgiveness, of purity, of holiness. And everyone is on their journey, and nobody is better than each other. And the person who's in jail for various crimes, severe crimes, like, that person is no different from me. And so I love that person, because that is a child of God too, fulfilling some kind of purpose. And I don't need to know what that purpose is. And that, in my opinion, is how you allow the magic to flow through you. That kind of a conversation, that kind of a presence, that kind of letting go and not needing to have it all figured out, in my opinion, is how you really create that that flow, create that trust. So Raya said, so grateful to catch this. That's incredible. Love it. Set up 2020 for epicness. Mindset, we all fall below the line and beat ourselves up sometimes, but happens less as we live in gratitude full time. Well, I learn something new about you every day and I love it, Rockstar. I love it, Janet. The message you are sharing is so powerful and I can relate 1000% to this. Once you let go and let God and create that amazing relationship, awesome things happen. Life doesn't work if ego is involved. And I think Wayne Dyer says ego stands for EGO, edging God out. You know, and it's interesting. Personality, ego. I have been around people who are spiritually aware and also others who are not as spiritually aware, in my opinion, my perspective. Who say, some people say, you know, ego is bad. And I think a lot of people today is like, ego is good. It's just how you use it. Is it running you, or is ego second and God is first? And so for me, it's like, I've been kind of scared to own God's role in my own life. I've been scared to give the reins over to God. I've been scared to have conversations about God and even with God, you know, like, and what that means and what that would be like, and the universe and master creator and higher consciousness, higher intelligence. I've been really scared because I don't know what it's going to be like, and I don't know how it's all going to turn out, and I don't know what is going to happen, but that's okay. I still am more committed to my growth. I'm more committed to being a powerful force of love. So to surrender and let go and let God come into my life and let the universe, let Master Creator, let whoever, however, whatever, come into my life and come into your life. I think it's so powerful to, again, take all that pressure off. To take the pressure off that you need to know everything. You still get to show up and take action. And that's something I've grappled with as well. How do I let go and surrender and say I'm not in control and still show up and take action? What am I in control of? God, show me what I am in control of. God, show me how to just keep existing and being a force of love, being a force of grace and kindness and empowerment for myself and for others, and do what I can with what I got, and be resourceful and be tenacious and be hungry and be perseverant and have grit. And at the same exact time, while I'm showing up and freaking crushing it, also let go. Also say I don't need to do everything. Also say the results come no matter how much I work. That God will bless my life, will continue to bless my life and provide resources and provide next steps and provide pathways of progress and movement forward and making a difference and purpose. God will continue to provide that no matter how much I work or don't work. And because effort is a value, work effort is a value, then I get to keep doing my best. What is my best? How can I use my talents, my gifts, and my abilities to the best today? What am I being called to do today? I think that's a really great question as well, as we start to wrap this conversation up. Like, to ask, to surrender up needing to know the answers and ask, what am I being called to do today? Because what we might think ego-wise and personality control-wise is, I said I was going to finish a book, so I got to go finish this book. I have 10 chapters written, and I have to finish this 11th chapter, but I've been stuck on it for 3 weeks. What is going on? Why am I stuck? And so instead of continuously trying to bulldoze your way through that, like I wanted to bulldoze my way through and finish a book and get it launched this year, and I think even last year I wanted to be launched. Didn't happen. Okay. My ego's kind of hurt. I'm like, why didn't I finish that? But I'm like, okay, God, you got bigger plans. You know better timing than me. So show me what I'm meant to do today. I think for me, I really am on the journey of creating more stillness and silence and openness and receptiveness in the morning, especially after waking up and saying, God, I may have had plans, for this week. I may have had plans for this day. Here's what I wanted to do. What do you want me to do? And God's like, go on a walk around Las Vegas all day long. And I know you have calls today, but don't do them. It's like, what? What? I've never gotten anything like that. I'm sure I will, though. I'm sure I'm going to get some as I surrender more and more, I'm going to get some crazy ass requests. Thank you, God, to do the randomest things that don't make sense to me, and also would fly in the face of what I think it means to be a good steward of my gifts, which is like showing up when I'm supposed to show up and finishing what I started, and keeping my integrity, keeping my promises, things like that. I think they're 99% of the time that is true. And I also think that there's going to be these left field freaking home runs that, or line drives or whatever, left field, way out in left field, things that come to us, and we're like, what? Like, you want me to do that? You want me to drop all my calls today? You want me to just go to the park today? You want me to go help out some homeless people today? You want me to call my sister today? You want me to, drive to California randomly today? Like, what? And again, like I think a lot of my life has been wanting to be so much in control. Even when I had those things, I'm like, yeah, right. No way. I'm going to keep working today. And there may have been consequences from that. And to really just like let go and open yourselves up. I think that's another milestone for me, to be more consistent with that, with trusting, with asking, being willing to receive, and trusting. So God, thank you for allowing me to be a conduit right now, to remind myself, to remind you, which you are also me. So I am that I am, and you are me. I love you. So thank you for reminding us. Thank you for presencing us with this value, with this gift, with this grace, with this love, to be our greatest possible selves, to live our best lives ever, to not be so stressed out and overworked, to not be so disconnected from our humanity, from nature, from our spirit, from the greater whole, the greater unconditional love that you have for us, God. Thank you. And I trust that every single word that was spoken today, all of the topics that we went to, all the aspects of this conversation was perfect. So thank you for being here on the journey with me. Thank you, Chris Burns, for trusting yourself enough, even though some parts of the crazy, I was like, what? Are we really going here? And thank you that I am a conduit. Thank you that I am a channel. And I'm whole, perfect, and complete. And so are you. So ask yourself, what is it that you are meant to do today? What is Master Creator, Universe, Source, God? What is your invitation to step into today? What are you creating? What does God want you to do today? Intentional silence so that you could actually pause long enough to hear. And if you didn't hear it, go pause some more. We're wrapping this up, and I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. And Janet says, yes, when you hand it over to him, there is peace within. When you are in flow in your activity, you know who is leading the way. Yes to this. Surrender. I love it. Hugs and kisses to you too, Janet. Carrie, we are going to rock the house. Carrie Norley is about to come on, so definitely stay tuned for that episode. And I just want to say thank you for being here. If you have any questions about this, I'm still a lifelong student on this, so happy to be a support for you and just have a conversation about it. I know it's been a tough journey and a road for me to just even talk about it, so I can get if that is the case for you, and I have just massive love and grace and compassion for you on the journey as well.